Because what happens, the farther away you get from a radar site, some of those beams just overshoot the particular storm. So you need to see the low levels of this. But what we are looking at now is that this storm is going to continue to work its way toward Cumberland City, toward Monticello, just to the north of the Powersburg area. Folks into Mill Springs and into Somerset here into Pulaski County need to be seeking that safe shelter immediately as we continue to loop that storm that's going to work its way toward the northeast at a pretty good clip. These storms have been moving at better than 55 and 60 miles an hour. So Somerset, you may be looking at this right now. We got a sky cam down here in Somerset that we can pull up and take here momentarily as well. But if you are in Somerset right now, you're looking and you're thinking, well, that storm is still down into Monticello or it's still down into Clinton County. Well, given the fact it is moving to the northeast better than 50 miles an hour, you know how long it's going to take to get into Somerset? Not long at all. What we're not seeing one single supercell with this. That is certainly good news, but what we were noticing with that line of severe thunderstorms working across parts of the Nelson County area just a bit ago is that you got these little kinks that are showing up sometimes embedded within that. So this is a possible tornado that is heading toward Monticello, Wayne County, and Somerset into Pulaski County. Here's the live view from our Somerset cam right now. In Somerset, I would imagine momentarily that we're going to be hearing the tornado sirens going on. So we can take you to the current warning, and that is here into Somerset, and show you the live view. And this is a possible tornado that is going to roll toward downtown Somerset. Somerset, we're on the northern edge of this current warning, all right? But again, given how fast that storm is moving, it will be into town very shortly. So we broaden out the view to show you, to set the overall stage on everything that is showing up here with the numerous clusters of strong and severe thunderstorms. You got that thunderstorm that is in northeastern parts of Harrison County, and that thing was ramping up very quickly. And then you've got this cluster of strong and severe thunderstorms working towards Somerset. And now we've got new severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued for Boyle County, and I see, it looks like parts of Mercer County as well. So not including downtown Danville with this new severe thunderstorm warning, but I believe that gets into Perryville, and it does include areas just to the west of Harrodsburg. So that is for a severe thunderstorm warning. The actual tornado warning with this particular cell is from Loretto, and that is in northwestern parts of Marion County, into Springfield here into Washington County, and that is going to continue to work its way to the east. So we will see if this still has a tornado signature. As a matter of fact, we can pause this radar, Jim, and we can look inside of this just to see if we're seeing that little bit of a twist that was showing up on radar over the past hour or so. Now, it is a much weaker signature with this part of the storm into the Loretto area. But what happened a little earlier with this storm is that it had a very strong signature, lost it for just a little bit, then regained it, kind of pulsed back up. And that is going to continue to roll its way toward the east. But it is important to note that the tornado warning was not extended to the east, but the severe thunderstorm warning was extended to the east. So if you're watching us right now into Boyle County, into Mercer County, and certainly down toward the Gravel Switch area and toward Lebanon into Marion County, the storm is basically right on your doorstep, and that's going to continue to work its way through there with winds that may gust greater than 50 or 60 miles an hour. We had an unconfirmed report with this same storm back into Litchfield, into Grayson County, about an hour or so ago of a personal weather station that recorded a 107-mile-an-hour gust. That may be pushing it because personal weather stations are not designed to withstand 100-mile-per-hour winds. So I don't know of a personal weather station that could actually record a 107-mile-per-hour gust, but nonetheless, that is with our storm that is now working toward the Springfield area. Lexington, folks, let's see what's going on across the metro right now. We've got some isolated showers and thunderstorms. And by the way, that severe thunderstorm into the Cynthiana part of Harrison County is now well off to the northeast of that. It's all the way up toward sections of Maysville. That's how quickly these storms are moving. Not a whole lot in Fayette County right now. We'll continue to watch those storms to the southwest. One more little thunderstorm to the southwest of Cynthiana that is trying to ramp it up just a little bit, but the worst of the weather is off to the northeast of Robertson County and right on top of the Brooksville area. And look at that severe thunderstorm warning that 10 minutes ago was issued into Harrison County, and now severe thunderstorm warnings with that are being issued all the way into southern parts of Ohio. So we said these storms were going to truck through the area. They weren't going to let any grass grow under them because they were just going to be moving along so quickly. That is the case right now, and we continue to watch that severe thunderstorm. Let's jump back into southern Kentucky and check on the progress of our tornado warning that is into parts of Pulaski County and points south and southwest from there. So again, this is a long way from the radar site. But we can see where, based on the lightning, the strongest part of this storm is now fully into Wayne County. It looks like the tornado warning for Clinton County, if I'm seeing this map right, has been allowed to expire. So we're going to watch this area south. Boy, it's right on top of Lake Cumberland. Folks around Lake Cumberland a little nervous right now, and rightfully so. But this is right on top of the Monticello area. This is on top of 1275 and right on top of 90. And to the north of that appears to be the worst of the weather. This may be hugging the northern extent of the warning box, and that would take it right across parts of the Mill Springs area and into southwestern sections of Pulaski County. So folks in Somerset, sirens likely going off. Here you go with this storm that is right on top of the Lake Cumberland area now, over toward Rankin, the Eadsville area, Parnell. These are the folks that should have already hit the basements if they have them. If not, Jim was running down the safest place to be. Center part of your home, the ideal spot is into the interior room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. And above all else, we want to protect our noggins. We protect our heads from flying debris, because that is where most injuries and most fatalities, that's what happens. Flying debris kind of hits folks in the head. And if you've watched me for several years, I'm going to tell you right now, the thing I tell you each and every tornado warning, put on a helmet. If you got a no bicycle helmet, put it on. If you got a no football helmet, put it on. Got a hard hat, put it on. It could save your life. So it doesn't matter if it's your brother's, sister's bicycle helmet, put it on if you got an extra one, because that can save your life. But again, this storm that continues to work its way towards Somerset. Somerset, it's not there just yet, but that camera, I would imagine, looking toward the southwest is probably lighting up. I know Jim is over here. Jim, any reports from the National Weather Service as of yet on any confirmation to what we're seeing down there?
Nothing yet. As you know, everything has been just radar indicated tornadic activity in this area, where they're seeing some strong signatures of rotation. Now, here's something else of note. You were talking about how fast these storms are moving. This one in particular we're watching in Wayne and Pulaski counties, it right now is moving around 65 miles per hour. That's the forward motion of the storm itself. That's not the wind coming out of it, though at that kind of rate you're going to get some good wind anyway. But that's moving off toward the northeast. So I've got this camera facing the southwest, where our camera's in position there. So we're looking at that southwest sky to see some of that activity. Come a little closer. Let me spin it around just a little bit more, because we might be able to see more lightning in one direction rather than the other. But that's going to be where it comes from here. And the thing is, it comes quickly.
Exactly. You know? And this is important to know, folks. We got a 360 live HD cam that is on a tower down here into the downtown Somerset area. So we're going to watch this storm as it rolls its way on into Pulaski County from the southwest at a whopping 65 miles per hour. That's not the wind speed that we're talking about necessarily. That's the forward speed. So essentially, that storm is moving so fast out of Wayne County and into Pulaski County that the Weather Service has kind of got to get ahead of that in terms of getting the warning out, because that thing is into one location and out of it in just a matter of minutes. So there you go with your tornado warning. That continues in effect for Wayne County and Pulaski County, and then your tornado warning for a part of Washington County and into northern parts of Marion County as well. This is downtown Somerset. We are included in that particular tornado warning, at least the western edge of the city, and that goes back into Monticello. It will be interesting to see if we get a northeastward expansion of that tornado warning, because if this storm is moving at 65 miles an hour, it is going to be through Somerset here in a matter of just a couple of minutes. This warning, by the way, will take us until 11:30. Important to note, no confirmed tornadoes, sightings, or funnel cloud. These are all radar indicated tornadoes, because we have Doppler radars. We can look and not only see precipitation inside of a thunderstorm, but we can also see spinning. We can see the winds. We can see the direction those winds are going. So when we start to see the varying colors, the brighter reds, the brighter greens bumping up against one another, we know we got winds that are going in the opposite direction. And that's all it takes sometimes to get a tornado to spin up. And in a setup like
and then once we get north of that, we'll deal with that once it starts to continue to move more to the northeast. I'm going to take us back to a single site here and zoom out a little bit so you guys can see it there. Definitely producing some very, very heavy rain. And like we said, it's really hard to tell with kind of these radar sites, or we're in between 3 of them here. It's not a complete signature. It's not a typical signature that we see. But with these storms, the environment that they're moving into, this area that it's moving into, saw some sunshine earlier. Hasn't seen a lot of rain today. Some of us have, but I know parts of Wayne and Pulaski County have not seen a lot of rain today. So they have more of that energy. And plus we have that cold front moving through, and these are just the storms that are popping up ahead of that cold front. Evan, if you'll take us back out, maybe we can see where that main line is. I know earlier it was back towards still kind of I-65. Oh, it's sped up quite a bit. It's past I-65, and that storm that Evan was just talking about just south of Louisville is still going as well. That was moving through E-Town, about 20, 30 minutes ago?
Yeah, I mean, these storms are moving very, very fast. I think that warning was for about 40 miles per hour, but the cells that are popping up ahead of this main line along this cold front have been moving at 65 miles per hour. There was actually a storm earlier today. It was actually the one that went through Nashville. If you saw that, there was some hail and some high winds with that storm. Basically went from Bowling Green to Cincinnati in about 2 hours. It was moving at 75 miles per hour. This one's moving at 65. So again, highway speeds means you don't have a lot of time to prepare if indeed there is something from this storm in terms of a tornado, or even, we don't need a tornado to cause damage. Even straight line winds can cause quite a bit of damage out there as well. Just taking a look, not seeing any new information from the National Weather Service so far, which is good news. Usually in this situation, no news is good news. We haven't gotten any reports of anything out of that storm yet, so that's certainly good news.
And here's that main line too, just because we're seeing that stuff pop out just east of I-64. Of course, that is kind of that main line. That's that main cold front. You could see where those clouds are too, just moving out of Nashville. Nashville already in the clear, but here is that main line, and that is moving to the northeast. So we are going to continue to watch those push into our area. And these storms that are definitely moving into parts, are moving over the plateau now and moving into parts of East Tennessee, will continue to push into our area, and has a history of producing some strong to severe thunderstorms, and has a history of producing some tornadoes. Like Evan was just talking about, this line produced a couple of tornado warnings back towards Nashville. I'm not sure if anything was confirmed on the ground. I think it was earlier today, but I'm not sure with this exact line if anything was confirmed. But it does have a history of producing some very, very, very gusty winds, some stronger storms, some hail, and even some tornado warnings. Now, it is moving into our area, which is a little bit more of a different environment, where we're not expecting as severe weather as they were seeing, of course, down into Nashville. However, it is moving into parts of the Cumberland Valley that did get a lot of sunshine earlier today. Sunshine usually helps fuel those storms, so that's definitely something to keep in mind as we watch these storms move into our area. I'll take us back to single site here, zoom in. Oh, I'm drawing everywhere. That was not what I wanted to do.
Let me get those boxes off there for you, Paige.
Yeah, Evan's gonna help me here. There we go. Alrighty. Zooming in, let's see if I can get a better radar here. Maybe it is falling apart a little bit as we look at all of the different radars. It's not as strong. Yeah, it looks like it might be falling apart a little bit. Let me take you to velocity real quick. That'll help. It's still producing some pretty gusty winds, I would say. Definitely in the Monticello area right now. If you're kind of in the western part of Wayne County, it's definitely starting to push out of your area. But if you're in Monticello or know anyone in there, definitely seeing those gusty winds in that area. And that's going to continue to track up towards parts of Pulaski County and Somerset. Evan, I'm going to put single site back on. And if you want to track this out for us. I'm going to try to zoom out. You got it.
Let me see here. Yeah, it's finicky with these multiple radars, but that's the view from Jackson right now.
It's definitely breaking apart, not as organized.
But sometimes in these cases, you can get kind of when they break up, you can get kind of some spinning going on with that as well. Hopefully that's not what we're seeing. I'm trying to zoom out here because a forward speed of 65 miles per hour means I need plenty of space to get this to work here. Let's see, 65 to the northeast, and it's already moved, so let's try that again. Let's see here. All right, let's zoom back in and track.
We'll definitely keep an eye on, of course, that storm that it moving into parts of central Kentucky, but that's going to continue to push more northeast and might track a little bit more towards Lexington than our area. But there's that track out. Somerset moving in around 11:56. Go ahead and get in that safe place. I already said Somerset is in this warning. I know you guys are kind of on the edge, half in it, half out it, but let's go to get in that safe place and could get there a lot quicker. I think this storm is moving pretty quickly, and if it holds up, this storm could be moving into London by 12:30 or maybe even sooner with it moving super quick. And of course, these storms are ever changing. They could speed up, they could slow down. It could be moving into the Burning Springs community by 12:57. Of course, it's not warned that yet. If you are in London or Burning Springs area, it's not time to get in that safe place yet. Just be prepared heading into about the next hour. So, of course, Laurel County is in a tornado watch until 2 a.m. Evan, will you actually pull up that tornado watch so we can show people that? A lot of this area is in a tornado watch till 2 a.m. You can see parts of Laurel County, Knox County, Whitley, Wayne, Pulaski, all of you guys, Rock Castle, you guys are in this until 2 a.m. So just stay on guard, stay with us as we head into the next couple of hours. I do think we could see it possibly get canceled earlier than 2 a.m. But stay up late with us, and of course we'll be here continuing to track this. Let's go back to that storm. It looked like we were seeing some heavy rain down into Bell and Harlan County, but I know none of that is on that severe side as of now, but they've been dealing with that for the past about 30 minutes or so.
It's like we have a new tornado warning for Wayne and Pulaski again, Paige.
Okay, yeah, they have extended this. All of Somerset is in this. All of the city of Somerset is in this warning. And how long does this go until?
This will be in place until midnight.
Until midnight. So we are going to, of course, stay on this until then. But yeah, they're continuing this tornado warning until midnight. This does include the city of Somerset. And so if you know anyone in Somerset, in Pulaski County, call them, wake them up. They need to go ahead and get in that safe place. And that safe place is the lowest floor of your house. Basement is the best. Some of us don't have basements, so that means just getting to that low level floor, getting into an interior room away from those windows, away from those outside walls. Evan has tracked this out for us, so it's moving into Burningside around 11:38, Shopville around 11:57. Could be moving into the city of London by 12:22. Could be moving into the Burning Springs community by 12:47. But it is now moving into Pulaski County. So go ahead and get in that safe place if you are in the Burningside community all the way up to parts of Pulaski County. I'm going to erase that here and zoom in on this storm. Let's get in.
While you're doing that, Paige, we just got a report in from the Weather Service, a trained spotter reporting of.
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Wayne County, Pulaski County, until midnight. The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Wayne County, Pulaski County, until midnight. At 11:25 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Naomi, or 10 miles north of Monticello, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Nancy around 11:30 p.m. Pulaski County Park around 11:35 p.m. Somerset around 11:40 p.m. Dabney around 11:45 p.m. Shawville around 11:50 p.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Trimble, Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until midnight Friday for the following counties in Kentucky, Pulaski, and Wayne. The National Weather
touchdown at this point. We haven't gotten any reports of touchdowns. That's the good news so far. But
Somerset 17 minutes. So that's what we're looking at as the potential time of arrival of where we think this potentially tornadic storm is. So don't use these numbers and say, oh, I've got 5 minutes to get there. I've got 10 minutes to get there. No, get to your safe spot now and don't take the chance that another little spin up can happen and catch you by surprise. So with all that in mind, you guys need to be taking your permanent or your getting to your shelters now and be ready for these storms to leave. And let's see if we can make that go away. There we go. So again, you're looking at the tornado warning now until midnight. So it has been extended, and that does include Somerset as well as Burnside, Ferguson, Science Hill, going there along the Parkway. Doesn't quite get to Eubank. Going up there along Highway 80, so it will include you folks there in Shopville and then that highway going on up toward Rockcastle County. So that's all included in that. Big picture for you. And again, those are the two storms that we're talking about. So everywhere else, no warnings to deal with. There's your tornado watch south of the Mountain Parkway, south of the Bluegrass Parkway. And now we're hitting the 11:30 mark. That one should be expiring here shortly. If it's not already done so, we're going to see if they're going to expand that on to the east now to include Mercer or Boyle County. So again, that one just went off. Say it here, comes out there. So at the moment, that warning has been allowed to expire, but the one to the south is the one that we're going to continue to look at here. So for you folks in Pulaski County, northern Wayne County, that is a warning for you. Again, the radar depiction is marginal. That's a little bit more robust. So again, there is your S-curving in there. And as we come in on that, that's where we're looking. So again, that's the area that we highlighted, the track to the northeast. And for you folks there in Somerset, you need to be in your shelter. And we've gone over the ways to remain safe in the event of that tornado. So again, it's not the greatest radar display. It's not a classic situation, but it's a fast-moving cell. It's one, there's a lot of shear in the environment, and it's been able to tap some of that. This is an area that hasn't seen a whole lot of activity over the last couple of hours, so the atmosphere is relatively untouched. And again, just quick check on the velocities, and again, anything showing up. Your shear rates, again, starting it from there, heading to the northeast, so the same idea is give it about 10, 15 minutes, and it'll be approaching Somerset at that point on its way northbound, but that path going, at least the strong thunderstorms are eventually headed toward Rockcastle County. So as we do on nights like this, you want to keep that information source handy. Make sure that you have ways to get that information to you. And of course, we always say the Storm Tracker app, weather radio, and of course the TV is how we're bringing it to you right now. So again, the storms are just scattered around here. And while you're looking at that, let's see if we can pick up on any new information that may have come out here in the last couple of minutes. And it's a situation which obviously has been changing quickly. For folks down to the south, they were obviously dealing with much worse in terms of conditions, but we do have our warnings that we're dealing with here now. And there's a thing called chat trying to get into, so it's the information straight from the Weather Service. While you're, again, for you folks in Pulaski and Wayne counties, stay in your shelters at this point. The storm it is past Monticello. So for you folks in Monticello, you folks are okay at this point. In fact, the tornado warning for Wayne County has been allowed to expire. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for McCreary, Wayne, and Pulaski counties. Actually, in the northern part of Wayne County, you are under a warning until midnight. So it is northern Pulaski, and then northern Wayne, almost all of Pulaski. We do have a report, train spotter, report of a funnel cloud, and that was near Monticello, and that was about 15 minutes ago. So it was likely somebody who went to one of the Skywarn spotter classes, which the Weather Service hold, and At night, it's difficult to see, obviously. May have been lit up by the lightning. There may have been, if it was ground-based, there may have been an electric transformer that has gone. But again, there was a report of a funnel cloud north of Monticello. So Monticello, you guys are done with this. It's past Monticello at this point. This is the part of the storm that we were looking at, and the one area that we were of greatest concern about, obviously. So again, you see Burnside in about 7 minutes, Ferguson in 11, Somerset 12, as we have updated the track here for you. That tornado warning is until midnight. Again, with you try and find the rotation display to make pinpointing this a little bit easier. So we're just kind of going off of a broad radar signature here, and that is how we're trying to best figure out where this storm is. Obviously, it's raining hard right now in Somerset. So you folks there, you're hearing the rain, you're hearing the thunder, you're seeing the lightning out there. The storm itself, again, there's some broad indications here. We see that kind of an S-ing, but it's on the southern bypass there. So it'd be right in there as if the storm is doing anything, that's about where it's going to be at this point. So if you're bringing that also up from the northern part of Wayne County, that's following right on the track there. So again, this is going to be heading up toward the northeast. You folks in Shopville, be ready. As we look again at the shear potential, it's all showing in the weak category, at least off of our radar displays here. It's not saying that it's not doing anything. In this type of situation, it also may have been just a very quick spin up where you have your squall line. The line itself gets a little break in it. You get a little bit of rotation to happen, and that's when the warning gets issued. So again, you can see the outline of Lake Cumberland right in there. So it's very close to that at this point. Again, on the relative display, we're not seeing anything. You're seeing a whole lot of wind here on just the straight velocity, and the reflectivity, again, is the same picture we were showing you from earlier. As we expand things back out, just to make sure nothing else is snuck in here, so that is becoming more well-behaved for the storm back there in Washington County, but it's beginning to intensify. So maybe some of this energy here has gone into northern Casey, into Boyle, and Garrett County. So we'll keep an eye on this area as well for the potential for that over the next 15, 20 minutes or so. Obviously, if you're expecting Fallon, you're not going to see him here for a while. So that is the situation, because we're going to be continuing to bring you the warning that we have here. And again, it's a tornado warning in Pulaski County, northern part of Wayne County. You've got a nice split going on here as well. So we're going to watch this part of the cell here that's going to be heading toward McCreary. If you're splitting the line like that, what's happening is that this now has got a little better environment to work with, and the shear potential may be increasing out ahead of that right turning cell going into McCreary County. Meanwhile, you've got the left turn going up here. This, again, likely producing some hail at this point. The potential is there that this storm is continuing to produce a funnel cloud, tornado. Again, we had the public report, train spotter report of a potential funnel that came out of northern Wayne County, north of Monticello. So that's what's been heading on up in through Pulaski County. So somewhere around Highway 80 at this point, you are looking at the circulation getting pretty close to Somerset. Again, there's just not a lot of good radar data we can show you off of this. Again, it's all straight. There's no greens and reds next to each other, which if you've been with us before, that's how we determine where the rotation might be. And again, nothing even showing up on that particular display either. So there again is your big picture with the radar. That is the area that I do want to keep an eye on. Right there near the Wayne and Pulaski County line, perhaps at this point, where you see we're splitting these it's now into 3 separate pieces. So what had been one coherent is beginning to split up now. Luckily, there are no other warnings that we have to be concerned with at this point. So it again is the storm in northern Pulaski County is the game in town at this point. We're going to keep an eye on there, also on the eastern part of Wayne County going into the northern part of McCreary County. So that again is your severe weather situation as we see it here at 11:37. That warning is in effect until midnight. So as you're looking at that, I'm going to see if there's any new data that has come in. It's a warned situation. Obviously, this is still not to the caliber of what they were seeing. Expires. And if I'm reading this correctly, I believe they have canceled, and there it goes. I was reading it correctly. Tornado warning has been canceled. That is a very good thing. So even though these cells have shown weakening here, well, the warning has gone away, I'm still really concerned about that area right in there, Wayne going into McCreary. So since the warning has been allowed to expire, the good news is you get to see Fallon. So we will go ahead and we will continue, obviously, to monitor this. And if anything new pops up, we'll pop up. But for now, am I sending it back to you, Larry, or am I? It's Fallon time.
Vacuums.